Hello and welcome to my video on what I think are the best high heels for petite women. Also the best court shoes for the office as well as being for every other occasion. They are the Mango Asymmetric Pointed Heel. Asymmetric. And Mango have been selling them for I don't know how many years, and they're always on their website, and they're the only heels, barring summer sandals, these are that I wear ever. So yes, if there was a fan club for these heels, I would join it. I would be the president, I would be the treasurer. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through three sections. Number one, the reasons why I think these are the best heels. Number two, the downsides of these heels, because it's an honest review, and yes, there are downsides, even though clearly they have not put me off. And lastly, I'm just going to show you the heels on the website and talk a little bit about sizing, etc. Try to sit on the floor, that was just murdering my knees. So point one, the positives. Shape. There are various things going on in this shoe which are working together to make you look A, very elegant, and B, taller. In particular, if you fall into my camp, and although you weren't blessed with long legs, you were blessed with some rather large feet. And you can turn those feet into an advantage by making it look like they are just more leg. So it has a point, which does lengthen your legs, but it is not an aggressive Italian fashionista point. It's relatively understated. Secondly, the actual area of the point is quite small. So it only just about covers your toes, if that, where your toes begin, which again, it produces this lovely long line here. And similarly, the asymmetric shape also has a bit more skin out, which just again contributes to making you look a bit taller. Point two, and related, it has no strap. Every petite girl out there knows that the great enemy of your life is a strap on a shoe. There is nothing that makes your leg look shorter than that. And as I say, who can tell where my leg ends and my foot begins? It's all in the trickery. Number three, heel height. These are 10 centimetres. I've got no idea what that is in inches, even though I'm British. I think maybe, who knows? I think it's 3.5, 4, something like that. These are the sweet spot of heels for the petite woman. I'm going to preface all of this by saying that this is my opinion only, and this is how I like to dress, and anyone can just go and make free and wear whichever heels they want. So obviously a lower heel height is going to have less of a lengthening effect on your legs. But I do think there's something else that goes on with petite women, which I find hard to explain without sounding really savage and really mean. But just speaking from personal experience and my body and what suits me, when I try on court shoes, which are low, this is court shoes in particular for some reason, they end up making me look, I think, frumpier than if I weren't wearing heels at all. And in a way, I almost feel shorter. And it's something to do with, I think it looks like you're wearing heels, but you're wearing them reluctantly. And then the opposite problem is the killer heel, the 5 or 6 inch heel on a petite woman. And again, this is going to sound a bit savage, but I think they can make us look like we're overcompensating. And the amount of overall, the proportion of your leg that heel is taking up is too much. There's the heel to actual leg ratio is too high. It's sort of like, I'm a big girl now, I'm wearing my heels, I look really tall, but I don't think anyone's really deceived by that. So I think this is the sweet spot. It makes my legs look longer and makes me feel elegant, but I think that it just looks like a natural extension of my legs, and it should be there, and that I'm not trying too hard. Rant over. Slight segue, there is an exception to this, which is a chunky heel. I think chunky heels look like they're made to be a bit lower, and so I think you can wear a lower chunky heel and have it look like part of the look and not a little bit frumpy. So quickly, number 4 is material. I think this is beautiful. It's some sort of suedette. I feel like this video is turning into me ranting about all of the shoes that I don't like on petite women, but I think it's great that these aren't pattern. They do come in pattern, but I don't buy them in pattern. I find pattern shoes always rub me here. And I also feel like there is something slightly 90s these days, or noughties, about a patent heel. It looks a little bit too much like I'm a businesswoman and I'm doing my business, and therefore I'm wearing my serious business shoes, which are my patent courts. Number 5, and this is crazy and you probably won't believe me, but these are actually really comfortable and I don't understand why. Maybe something to do with this gap here, which maybe gives your foot some more breathing room, and also just the softness of the material. But these just don't rub me. I think they rubbed me maybe once or twice over the years the first time I wore one. But I can walk in these for ages. I could walk in these for an hour and not feel anything. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I think it must just be because they're well cut, good sizing. Yeah. So believe me or not, these are comfortable heels. I would never buy a pair of heels that I wasn't comfortable in, because you can't feel confident, good about yourself if you're walking along and you're in pain and you're literally bleeding into your shoes. It just completely ruins the whole thing which heels were meant to do in the first place, which was to make you walk along feeling really strong and powerful and confident. Right, 6, the last thing is price. I think these are £45 at the moment, which is obviously not a cheap price, but you can spend on court shoes any amount of money. A lot available are more like £100 and £150. And personally, I just decided that I am not spending that kind of money on a pair of court shoes, because it doesn't matter how expensive the court shoe is. You are walking on the tube and you put that heel down one grate and you feel that sickening moment when the metal scrapes up the heel and that heel is ruined. By definition, a shoe is on the floor in the city, touching things. It is not something that you can keep beautiful. Okay, this video is not going to be complete without a close-up. At the moment on my feet are mismatching animal socks. So yeah, that's just happened. Thanks, Mum. Yeah, so let's get a pair of these bad boys on. You can see, show the other side, like that. So beautiful and elegant. And then just above as well. I'm gonna try and get a bit lower. Okay, so that's what they look like on your foot at eye level. Show you the other side. Woo. You see the way they just create this beautiful long line and how small this area is at the bottom. Cha-cha. Yeah, so that's enough of that. So the downside of these heels, put simply, is that they're just not that hard wearing. There's just this one point where they tend to fade and get a little bit rubbed up, and it's just right here on the point where you'd expect that to happen, because it's just a bit vulnerable. I get round this by only buying the black or the deeper, darker colours like this, because they just tend to be more forgiving. I've also actually put marker pen on the end of some of these shoes, sometimes the black ones, which works a treat. And looking at them now, I actually think it might be possible to get an extra bit of sole put on to create more of a barrier between the end of the shoe and the street. I think that could work. But it's this reason why I don't buy the beige ones, because even though they're absolutely beautiful, they just don't really survive very well. So I think they would be great if you were buying a pair of nude shoes to wear to a particular occasion, and you resigned yourself ahead of time to the fact that they may not survive the occasion. It's obviously quite a big flaw, so you might think, well, why do you keep on buying them? I think it's because I have looked high and low for heels that make me feel like these ones do, that make me feel tall and elegant, and that I can also walk in, and that don't have straps and that aren't patent leather. So all of the things I just listed out, it's really hard to find a shoe that has all those things. So I think their value is in the rarity of having all of those features, and I'm not especially precious about my shoes being perfect all the time. If they're a little bit scuffed, I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'll keep on buying them anyway. Right, so if we just hop on the website and have a look at what they've got, they always have the black, they pretty much always have the beige, and they always have one rogue colour. So they did this beautiful bright orange once, and they did this wonderful dark purple, and this year they have this electric purple, which actually goes with everything, and I really loved having this colour. They often get sold out, but they're often back in stock. And I actually bought this pair from John Lewis because they also stock them. So that's a good tip if you can't find them on Mango. There are a few other shops online will be able to find them. And the last thing I'll say is on sizing. I am at an awkward halfway point between a 4.5 and a 5, but I come up very solidly in a 5 in these. So go slightly towards a higher size. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you are looking for a no-brainer pair of heels, go and grab these at Mango. And like and subscribe for more petite dressing content. Bye!